In chapter 12, you will, starting of the chapter, you will find about the basic discussion about the stream class. Then we'll find about what are the errors we face in the stream class. Then in our disk, if you want to use the input output, how we do that, the file pointers, how we handle errors in the file pointers, and the other details, how we can overload the extraction and the insertion operators of the file pointer, and command line arguments. So you don't have to at first study them in details, just have the idea about what is a stream class. So we talked about this. Let me show you in the book. So I'm zooming it a bit. A stream class is a general name given to a flow of data. Okay, so the stream can be input or it can be output stream. In C++, stream is represented by an object of a particular class. So this is an object of a particular class. So far we have used only C in and C out stream objects. So we have used these two stream objects, but we didn't use the other stream objects. Different streams are used to represent different kinds of data flow. For example, if stream used to represent data flow from the input disk, we also see an example of off stream that is being used for output stream. The advantage of using different stream, try to remember three things. First of all is the simplicity. By using the simple syntaxes, okay, we can easily take input, whether the input is from a console or whether the input is from a file. The basic structure is same. Second one is that you can overload the existing operators and the functions. So that is one advantage. We can overload this C in, we can overload the C out, these operators. And whenever we are using the graphical user interface, okay, or whenever we want to write files to the data, in that case this stream classes also comes in handy. Now stream class has a hierarchy. So if you look at this picture, it will show you about the basic hierarchy of a stream class. We start with iOS. Okay, from there we have, if you use a pointer, we have the stream buffer, file buffer, and basically we have easy stream, F stream base, and O stream. So in our last class we have talked about A stream and O stream. Okay, we also have IO stream that we use in before each program. We have F stream that we use for combining these two, I stream or O stream. We also have if stream, off stream. So the list goes on. You don't have to memorize everything. Okay, you just have to remember that there's a structure to it. Okay, we just don't randomly come up with the names. For example, in our program we use IO stream, we use F stream. This one are too popular. So if you look here, you will find that, so this F stream, this is actually coming from F stream base, and also coming from this stream base. Then the IO stream, this is coming from this O stream base. So all the streaming classes that we use in our program, okay, they have a hierarchy to it. So you don't have to exactly remember which one is coming from or which one is derived from which, but you just have to remember there's a hierarchy to it. Then we can, for now we can ignore this part. They have talked about different classes. Okay, they have wrote about some formatted flags. So you don't need to use the flags and the manipulators for now. Let me show you. So I'm skipping this. So here they have talked about how I stream class works to take the input. So we have already discussed in the last class, but this part we didn't discuss, that what are the functions that is related to iStream. So we have normal the input function, then we have the get function, we have get character function. Then the one that we used in a program was this one. We use the get line function. So what this line used to do in a program, this line just takes the input line by line from a file. Then we also used this one, this two. I think we used this one. I exactly don't remember. SIG, and we also use this one, TELG. So using this two, okay, we use the SIG to actually set distance of a file pointer from a specified place, and we also use the TELG to return position, okay, of a file pointer from a start of the file. So from any, like if you start from the file and if you suddenly write TELG, it will return you that how far in terms of bytes you have covered. Then we have the O stream class we also used to write in a file. So here you can see we have the console output sign. Okay, we have the put sign, flush sign, we have the write sign, and then we have the seek p that we used in our one of the examples. We have the tell p. So what does the seek p does? It does the opposite. It set distance in bytes of a file pointer from the start of the file. Tell p return position of a file pointer in bytes. This one you say tell g, it also return position of the file pointer from the start of the file. It also return position of the file pointer in bytes. That's it. Now if you look closely, this one get, okay, and these are mostly focused on put. So these are basically output based and these are input based functions. So depending on which function you need, we use different function, but normally we in our last class we only use the get line function. We sometimes use the count function, and we also use this sig g and tell g. Same goes for this too, so we can skip the rest. So there are some errors related to the file system. We have this good bit of bit that shows us when we reach the end of the file, so the compiler can understand, okay, the file is I have got the file, we can now stop. So these are some of the functions that you can use. One is EOF, end of file. Then fail means that whether the fail bit or the bad bit or hard fail has a set, and then bad means the return true if the bad bit of hard bit is flag set. So basically, if whenever you're running a program and if your file faces one of these errors, each of them will have their own error flag. That's it. You don't have to memorize what this each does. Now this is the basic introduction about the file. We have also seen that how file can take an input and how we can print it. Now let me show you some code. I'll go to the code. So last class we have seen that how we can write different lines in a program. Okay, we can just type those lines in a program. Let me see if whether I can open it. It was in file 1, I guess. Yeah, so this was the example that we used to how to write this two line. This is a line and my name is Sakib into a program. So we first declared the file variable or file handler. Off stream is the type, that means we will write, that's why it's off stream. This is the name and this is the name of the file. So after writing the name of the file, example to txt, what we did, we opened the file, okay, and after that we printed this line into the file, and then we close the file again. Now the difference between this one, this was we just printed this informations, but in this one what we will do, we will print object. That means, let's assume that you are working in a project, and in your project you have different this object, the person, okay, and the person has a name and also has an age, and what you want to do, every time you take input of the person, you want to save the input to your file. So how we can save the objects? We have two ways to save the object. We can store all the information one by one, or we can directly use an object and we can store all the information. So this program, so if you want to do it on one by one, this is where the my file comes in. You can just print one line at a time. But if you want to do it at once, this is the program that will help you to do it at once. So look closely what we're doing. For first part of the program, we have the person, the name of the class, we have this variables, we have this get functions, just the way we have in class. So then we declare an object of the class person. Okay, so let's assume the name of the object is P. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I just have to change a little bit. So let's name it P. So then P dot get data, it calls the get data function. When it calls the get data function, the program comes here. It prints enter your name. So he enters the name, enter your age, it enters the age. So normally this information gets stored into this name and age. But then we open the file. Okay, name a file person.dat. You can use txt or bin or other information. and then we actually write to the file. But normally when we write to the file, we used only my file, this is the line, so we actually directly written the line. But for now, what we do, we use this operator, reinterpret.cast, this cast operator, and then we have this character p, and finally the size of p. So what it does basically, okay, this takes the size of this object, okay, and then stores it into your file. So if I run the program, let's see what happens. So it actually asks for me to name, let's name it a, and let's name it h2. So this information will be stored into a file. So we also have done a similar program in last class, but the difference one, in the last class we just separately stored the information, but in this one we can store the information into one line. Just we can open the file, and using this reinterpret cast operator with the character and size, we can directly donate it, store it. Now let's go and see the next program. So next program is basically the opposite. So what it does, in the last program we wrote to a file, in this program it will read from a file. But again, what is the difference? The difference is, in this one we just randomly wrote some lines, okay, but in this one we wrote an object, the entire object at one line. In this one we will also print the entire object into one line. So let me run the program. See the information that I have just given a little bit ago. The name of the person is A and the person age is 2. So this is already printed into the second program. So what the second program does, it has the same class. It has the same class and the function show data. In the show data main function, we have this person pairs. So this is our object. Let's make it P. Then we have we open the file just to read. That's why person.dat. And then we, using this one line, we can read the whole object from the file. So let's run the program. So show data function will come here and will try to print the informations. Sorry, I have changed the name. So one more time we have printed the same information. So let's try it one more time. In this program, let's write an A, B, C, D, and let's say 100. Okay, so done. And now let's open this file and try to see. You see, A, B, C, D, 100. So we can read from a file, we can write to a file, we can directly store a file into, store an object into a file. We can also directly read an or multiple object from a file. Now I will show you one last code about this. So in this code, we actually do the same thing. Okay, we have a class, the person class. Now the class is, we have this two variable, name and age. We have this get data function that helps you to take information in the show data. Now in the main program, what we did, the different thing was from the last two, is that now you can decide how many customers or how many information we can store. For example, if I go to the last one, in this one we only could store only one information or one object. But here, if I run the program, you'll see what happens. So it asked me for personal data. Let's name A, age is 1. Then it will ask for me, do you want to enter another person? Let's say yes. So B, 2. Do you want to add another person? Yes. So C, 3. Now if I say that I don't want to insert another person, press no, then it will actually print all the information, name A, age 2, name B, age 2, name A, age 1. So it will print all the informations from the file. Now there might be a question, sir, we have only given 3 inputs. This one, from where the rest came, right? We only had this 3, A1, B2. So what did this, all the rest of it came? So we were using the same thing. We are using the same file in the previous cases. That's why those data were added here. So let me just do a check. Yeah, so just because we run it before, that's why they got the information was already there. So anyway, so how we are making it possible that we can add multiple objects into a single program. So what we do to make that possible, we use a for loop. So again, just the simple way we do everything. We declare the character, the class, the objects, everything. And after that, it opens the file in the appending mode. Okay. Now it ups to you. Okay, how you want, which loop you want to use, but here they have used do loop. Okay, so in do loop they first enter the person data, they gets the information. After getting the informations, they write them into the file. That's it. So after opening the file, you just transfer the information, done. And then we have this a small level of check on the while loop. So until you press Y, sorry, as many times as you keep press Y, this will keep going on. So they will keep storing informations. After that, it will read the informations object, and here you also have to use a file. The difference is, first of all, in the previous cases, we only could write a single line or single line and single how does the word exactly? Yeah, end of file. So one line at a time until we reach the end of file. Now what you can do, you can make it much easier by using SIGG and file end of file. So I have just shown you in the book how these functions work. If you don't remember what is a SIGG function, you can just go there and see the definition. So back to the topic. So number one, we can write objects into the program directly, sorry, into the file directly. Number two, not only we can write simple objects, we can write multiple objects together as well. We can print them from the, we can also print them. Yeah, I think we are done. So let me show if there is any part you will be able to understand. I don't think you will understand. So let me just show you the code. So this is code number 7, writing an object to a, this is code number 8, we read the object, and this is code number 8, sorry, this is 8. So in this one, we not only read and write an object, we can do it for multiple cases. So let me pause it here.